Hello, I'm Darren Magee, and today's question asks, what is meant by post-traumatic growth? Now, this is a theory developed by psychologists Richard Tedeschi and Lawrence Calhoun in the mid-1990s. It is a theory that explains the transformation of positive growth experienced by people who have endured psychological struggles with adversity. In this video, I will outline the theory, look at the areas that the growth takes place and some of the signs that might show the growth taking place, and look at some ideas to consider that might help with that growth. So just to break it down a little, post refers to after the event, after the situation. Traumatic refers to the emotional, the physical responses to the event. And growth means positive psychological change that is experienced as a result of the traumatic event. In their work, Tedeschi and Calhoun noticed that not everybody who experienced trauma, for example having been in a life-threatening situation, a victim of violence, long-term abuse, not all of them went on to develop PTSD, that's post-traumatic stress disorder. Many showed incredible resilience and began to thrive in the aftermath of the event. Now, that growth does not mean that the trauma wasn't destructive. It doesn't mean that people weren't hurt or frightened. It doesn't mean like they behave as if it didn't matter. But what was happening, and this would take place over a period of time, there were other areas, their connections with others, their strengths, their resilience, their confidence. They began to develop and grow. These characteristics started to become more consolidated. And they identified specific areas in which this growth takes place. So let's look at them now. The first one is there was a greater appreciation of life, not just their own life or other people's lives, but even just life in general. Now, many people who have been through hell tend to develop a compassion and an empathy, become more generous with their time in supporting others, especially others who may have experienced the same thing. They can become more adventurous, but not in a reckless way. They are just more able to live in the moment. They can become more cautious, but not necessarily over anxious. It's just that they're more measured. There is a greater appreciation of their relationships with others. Now, those relationships can become closer, they can become stronger, but they're also open to forming new relationships, mutually healthy, beneficial, supportive ones. They also develop a confidence to be able to leave behind relationships that are not so healthy. Another area of growth would be being able to identify new possibilities and new purpose in life. Many who have experienced trauma have used this experience as a platform for something greater, perhaps to start campaigning or lobbying for a change in an area in which they were hurt. Or they could move into an area of work that supports people who have been traumatized. They may write a book, write poetry, share their experiences, share their stories. They go on to develop a greater awareness to utilize their personal strengths and their support network. In that area, many people recognize that they are more resourceful than they thought. They are more resilient than they give themselves credit for. And although when faced with future adversity, it's not that they become fearless, but they start to become braver. And lastly, there's an enhanced spiritual development. Now, this could be a religious faith, or it could be becoming more connected with the world, with other people, with nature. There's a greater appreciation of nature, beauty, the human spirit even. So, some ideas that can help with growth in these areas would be, first of all, don't play down the traumatic event. Don't play down your responses to it or the impact that it has had. Talk about it. Talk about it in a safe space with someone you feel comfortable with, someone who's going to listen to you, someone who's going to validate you, someone who could help you explore options, explore choices. Now, this could be with a therapist or perhaps in a support group. And this is a strange way of putting it, I know, but avoid avoidance. Don't engage in avoidance tactics. Avoidance tends to either keep the distress going or it makes it worse. Now, in therapy, you can learn to understand the things that you fear, break it down a little piece at a time. And when you expose yourself to those things that you do fear in small little measured pieces, a small little piece at a time, The fear doesn't necessarily go away, but what happens is it starts to dilute as you start to become more confident, more courageous. And as much as it might hurt and as terrifying as it might be, don't forget the other side of that. Pay attention to your strengths. Pay attention to your qualities, your resources, your support network, and utilize them. And lastly, be patient, be compassionate with yourself. Growth isn't always instant. It isn't the push of a button. It takes time. It is not a race. It's a journey. Now, the expression I heard recently that I thought summed it up wonderfully was, it's not about bouncing back. It's about moving forward. Moving forward, a little piece at a time. So that's a brief outline of post-traumatic growth. Now, if there's anything I've missed or if there's anything you might like to share, please use the comment box below. There are some interesting conversations started around these videos. Now, if you found this video interesting or helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel for future updates on mental health related topics. And until next time, thanks for watching.